A small white dish sits on a roof, on a boat deck, beside a desert cabin, or outside a mountain home. At first, it looks ordinary, like outdoor Wi-Fi equipment with a cleaner design. But while it stays quietly in place, it is doing something extraordinary. It searches the sky, aims radio waves, switches satellites, and sends your internet request into space. Starlink is not like cable under a street or a cell tower serving one neighborhood. Its connection is moving above you. The dish is not simply catching a signal. It is actively talking to satellites racing across the sky. So how can one flat little panel turn open sky into an internet connection? To understand that, we first have to look at the older version of satellite internet and why it felt so slow. Let's get into it right here on Secrets of Simple Things. The old problem with internet from space. Satellite internet existed long before Starlink. In the 1990s and early 2000s, it already promised something remarkable: internet access where cables and phone lines could not easily reach. For remote homes, ships, or isolated businesses, a signal from space could go where ordinary infrastructure stopped. But one problem was hidden inside that promise: distance. Many older systems used geostationary satellites. They appeared fixed above one part of Earth, which made them easier to aim at, but they orbited about 35,000 kilometers above the surface. Every click or video request had to travel from the user's dish up to that distant satellite, down to a ground station, and then back again. That journey took time. Not much by human standards, but enough for the internet to feel clumsy. Video calls lagged. Online games became frustrating. Pages loaded unevenly. The connection reached remote places, but it did not feel like true broadband. Starlink did not begin by changing the internet cable. It changed the distance. Bringing the satellites closer. When SpaceX announced Starlink in 2015, the biggest change was not making satellites larger. It was bringing them closer. Instead of relying on a few massive satellites far above Earth, Starlink began building a constellation of thousands of smaller satellites in low Earth orbit. Many orbit around 550 kilometers above the surface, much closer than old geostationary satellites. That shorter distance changes the connection. A signal no longer climbs so far into space before coming back down. The delay becomes smaller, the response feels quicker, and satellite internet starts to behave more like broadband. But this solution creates a new problem. Low-orbit satellites do not stay fixed in one patch of sky. They move quickly overhead, crossing the sky as they circle the planet. So the user's antenna cannot simply point at one satellite and relax. If the satellites are always moving, the dish on the ground has to keep up. And that is where the simple-looking white antenna becomes the real star of the system. A satellite dish that does not behave like a dish. A traditional satellite dish is easy to recognize. It looks like a curved bowl, shaped to collect signals from one direction. Once installed, it is aimed toward a satellite that appears to stay in the same place in the sky. The Starlink dish behaves differently. It is flatter, cleaner, and less like the old metal bowls mounted on rooftops. The important difference is hidden inside. Starlink uses a phased array antenna. Instead of turning the whole dish to chase a satellite, it steers its radio signal electronically. Inside the panel, many small antenna elements work together. By coordinating how they send signals, the system points an invisible beam toward a moving satellite above. The dish does not look at the sky like an old dish. It listens, calculates, adjusts, and speaks in the right direction. The trick is not that the dish moves faster. The trick is that the signal moves smarter. How tiny antennas bend an invisible beam. Inside the Starlink dish, the work is divided among many small antenna elements. Alone, none looks impressive. Together, they behave like a coordinated team. Each tiny antenna sends radio waves with precise timing. If all signals left the dish in the same way, the beam would point in one direction. But when the system changes the timing slightly from one element to the next, the combined beam can lean, shift, and aim somewhere else. That timing difference is called phase. By adjusting phase, the dish changes the direction of its invisible radio beam without turning the whole panel. Picture a stadium wave. If thousands rise at the right moment, a wave moves around the stadium. Change the timing, and the wave changes direction. The Starlink dish does something similar with radio energy. IT shapes motion out of timing. It points without pointing. That is the quiet magic. It does not chase satellites like an old radar dish. It reshapes an invisible beam fast enough to keep talking as satellites pass overhead. Once the beam knows where to go, the next question is, what actually travels through it? The journey of a click through space. Imagine tapping a video on your phone. It feels instant. But with Starlink, that tiny action begins a trip much larger than your screen. Your request moves from your device to the router, then into the Starlink dish. There, digital data becomes radio signals aimed toward a satellite passing above. From there, the satellite becomes a relay in space. It may send the request down to a ground station connected to the wider internet, or pass data to another satellite before the signal returns to Earth. Then the answer comes back. The website, message, or video travels through the network, down to the dish, into the router, and back to your device. To the user, it may feel like normal internet, but every click takes an invisible route from your hand to your roof, into orbit, and back to your screen. But before that can happen, the dish has to answer one simple question. Where is the sky clear enough to talk? The dish that finds its own view of the sky. When the Starlink dish powers on, it does not simply wait for a signal. It begins by finding its place in the world. The dish needs open space above it, a tree branch, roof edge, mountain slope, or bad corner of a yard can weaken the connection. Some models can tilt and rotate during setup to search for a clearer view. To do this, the dish uses built-in motors, GPS, motion sensors, and software to understand its position. It studies its angle, adjusts itself, and looks for the best path upward. Once aligned, the phased array does most of the tracking electronically. The hardware finds the sky. The signal does the fine aiming. In cold places, some dishes can warm their surface to help melt snow. So the Starlink dish is not just hardware, it finds its own window to space. Finding one satellite is only the beginning. Keeping the connection alive is harder. The invisible handoff above your head. A Starlink satellite does not stay above your home for long. It is not parked in the sky like an old geostationary satellite. It crosses overhead at orbital speed, then disappears beyond the horizon. That means the dish cannot depend on one satellite forever. While you watch a video or join a call, the system is already thinking ahead. It predicts the next strongest satellite, prepares the change, and shifts the link before the old one weakens. To the user, the video keeps playing. But above your head, the connection may have moved from one satellite to another. It is like a phone switching between cell towers while you drive. You do not choose the next tower. The network does it for you. Starlink does the same handoff in space, with satellites racing at more than 27,000 kilometers per hour. The strange part is not that internet comes from a satellite. It is that one satellite can pass out of view, and your connection keeps going. And as the network grows, satellites are beginning to talk not only to Earth, but to each other. When satellites talk with lasers. For a long time, satellite internet depended heavily on ground stations. A satellite could receive a signal from space, but eventually that signal had to come back down near a station connected to the wider internet. Newer Starlink satellites add another layer. They can use laser links to send data directly from one satellite to another while still in orbit. Instead of every request dropping to the nearest ground station, information can travel across part of Earth through space itself. This matters where ground infrastructure is hard to build. Over oceans, mountains, polar regions, or disaster zones, cables and towers may be missing or too expensive to install. A space route can help ships, schools, hospitals, and isolated communities reach the internet. The system still depends on satellites, antennas, stations, software, and clear sky. But it changes where connection can begin. That is why the small white dish is more than a gadget. It is a sign of how communication itself is changing. The future hidden in a simple white panel. For most of modern life, we have imagined the internet as something built into the ground. Cables under streets, fiber lines crossing cities, towers beside roads, and server rooms hidden behind ordinary walls. Starlink adds a different image to that story. A small panel on a roof can connect to low-orbit satellites, pass through ground stations, use laser links, and rely on software that decides where every signal should go next. Outside, it still looks like a simple white dish. Inside, it is part of a moving network wrapped around the planet. That is what makes it interesting for a channel about simple things. The object is impressive not because it looks complicated, but because it hides complexity so well. So the next time you see a Starlink dish, do not just see a flat white panel. See a small doorway pointing upward, opening your home to a network moving silently above your head. If this story made you look at a simple white dish differently, subscribe to Secrets of Simple Things, and tell us in the comments what simple thing you want us to explore next.